Hi, and welcome to the very first video of Somebody Else's Angel. My name's Rick, and I'm in the garden of Cozy Cottage here in Lincolnshire in the UK, and I need to talk to you. If you've ever struggled, if you've ever been lost, depressed, lonely, if you've ever felt that you couldn't go on, that this world was just too much for you to cope with, or even if you know somebody that's struggling like that at the moment, that really just doesn't want to be here, but you don't know what to do about it, you don't know how to help, then you need to listen to this. You need to hear what I've got to say, because it's so important. This is really, really life-changing stuff. It was for me. I've been there twice. I've been homeless, and lost and alone, and you know, and at the age of 44 I'd lost everything. The end of a 25-year marriage, the loss of my younger brother, and £40,000 in debt, no hope, no future, a large tumour in the base of my spine, which was inoperable, is inoperable, it's still there. And every night for quite a while I used to stand on the side of the railway tracks in the dark, and I'd wait for a train to go by, and I'd just will myself to take 2 steps forward, to just end it all, to just stop the pain and the hurt, and yeah, just the solitude, the loneliness, and the desperation. I was living my life in quiet desperation. So if you're living your life in quiet desperation, or you know somebody that is, you need to hear what I've got to say, because I think I can help. I genuinely want to help. I used to stand there and I'd read these books, Chicken Soup for the Soul and stuff, and they were talking about, you know, people in similar situations that were thinking of taking their life and just not going on anymore, and then all of a sudden this person, this angel, this human being would turn up out of nowhere, and they'd put a hand on their shoulder, or you know, they'd sit down next to them and they'd talk to them, and they'd explain that, you know, they were there for them, and that life's not quite so bad, and stuff, and I wanted that. I was desperate for that. I needed an angel to appear from nowhere on those railway tracks, or by them railway tracks, and talk to me and tell me it was going to be okay. But nobody ever came, and that hurt. It just made me feel lost and very, very alone. But I had a choice, and the choice was do that, end my life, and package up all that hurt, that pain, that grief inside me, and pass it on to my children and let them deal with it. Or I make another choice, I make a decision, and I go, okay, so there's no angel there for me, but maybe I could be somebody else's angel. Maybe if I get myself through this and I learn how to cope, some tools and resources, then just maybe I could help somebody else. And that's what this is all about. That's exactly what this is all about. Helping other people by giving them tools, resources, an understanding of what life could be and what life is beyond the now, beyond that time when you think that it's terrible. And you know, my life was really, really bad, and yet now it's so amazing, because I made some decisions, I made some choices, I found some people. I did eventually find my angel. So it took me 20 years, 20 odd years to find that angel, but but it happened for me eventually. And I just can't bear the thought of somebody struggling the way that my brother did, that I did. You know, life is really, really hard. I know it is. So there's going to be tools, there's going to be resources, there's going to be loads and loads of videos to try and help you through. There's going to be some practical stuff as well. Hopefully I'm going to have a team of Lisa Lord IEMT, Integral Eye Movement Therapy practitioners, all across the UK initially, to help you to get some practical help. You know, I had years and years of counselling and stuff, and I spilled my guts out. I talked till I was blue in the face, and none of it made any difference. It didn't help because I wanted some practical help. I wanted somebody to say, right, okay, now what are we going to do about it? You know, I've heard the story, I've heard everything that's happened to you. How are we going to move forward? What are we going to do? You know, and there was nothing, and now there is. And that's, I can't keep it to myself. I can't. What happened to me was just, it was not short of a miracle, really. I mean, I was 6 months stuck in bed. I couldn't walk at all. Even the slightest movement would cause the most unimaginable physical pain. But the mental, emotional pain that I was going through as well was just unbearable. And I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to exist. I didn't know how I was going to get through the next minute, let alone the next hour or the next day or week. I just, unbelievable. And eventually, through social media and looking, and I thought, well, what can I do? So I ordered books from Amazon, and I read, and you know, and I trolled the internet, and just trying to find anything that may help. Integral eye movement therapy was just a game changer for me. I was haunted by all these ghosts of the past, chained to them, you know, and I couldn't escape. I'd been diagnosed with PTSD, and you know, I'd go from crying in the corner, curled up in a ball, not being able to function for hours and hours, to wanting to kill everybody, you know, to wanting to lash out and smash things up. And yeah, I was so frustrated and angry, and all these images just kept playing in my mind of all these events that had happened to me in the past, or that I thought were going to happen to me in the future, you know, that I was imagining were reality in a way. Anyway, I went to see this lady, and she said, right, okay, Rick, she said, you're going to do this. I can see that you're going to do this. I can see that, you know, I'm here to support you, and you're going to go on to become a therapist. You're going to go on to help other people. And I thought, well, that's just nonsense. There's no way that I could do that. I couldn't walk. I was on crutches when I turned up there, and you know, I was in just so much pain and desperation, but it just, within 3 or 4 sessions, all those ghosts just disappeared. They just went, you know, and now I live my life, and I just don't think of the past at all. It was there constantly, and now it's not. I can, if I want to, I can pull a memory up and think about it. Integral eye movement therapy works by disconnecting the memory from the emotion, so you know, you don't get them both, and it's just incredible. It's such a practical therapy, and the big game changer for me, this is really important, guys. This is something that really made a difference. It can be non-disclosure. You don't have to tell the therapist what it is, your work. You don't have to talk and spill your guts out. I'd go in with a list of stuff, and I'd go, okay, I want to work on these things, and I wouldn't even show the therapist the list. I'd just go, right, next one. Let's work on the next one, please. And she'd go, okay, can you bring that memory, that feeling to your mind? Can you focus on it? Can you feel it? Yes, I can. Okay, let's work on that. Oh, I was nearly swore then. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you're allowed to swear on YouTube or not, but I probably will at some point, so be warned. No, you know, and it was, I was crying out for this. I was desperate for something that could help me to let go of all the pain and hurt and suffering, and it worked. So please, please, please stay with me. Don't give up. Don't give up trying. Don't do what, you know. You see all these celebrities on the news, you know, Robin Williams, Amy Winehouse, Caroline Flack broke my heart. Oh my God, such a wonderful soul, and I just wanted to help her, and I couldn't, and she went, she just gave up, and it ended, and you George Michaels and Kurt Cobain's, and there's so many people, but it's not just about the celebrities, it's about all of these souls every day. You know, the highest demographic is young males, you know, young sort of 18 to 24-year-old males, but then closely behind that are young females, people with their lives ahead of them. They've got so much potential, so much of their whole life ahead of them, and yet they can't see it. And Somebody Else's Angel is about you being somebody else's angel. You can do this. You can change, you can work on stuff, you can become somebody that can reach out to somebody else. And there's so many ways that you can do that. Go to the website, SomebodyElse'sAngel.com or .uk.co.uk, either or, it makes no difference, it's the same website. There's 3 portals on the website. How I need help. The first portal is I need help. Click on that, because there's videos, there's resources, there's tools, there's my videos of what I've done to survive. Watch them and learn and expand your knowledge, and desperately set that intention to try and get better. There will be a link to a team of therapists across the UK and hopefully eventually worldwide. We're going to be training guys in Australia, in Europe, in America, hopefully. We want a network of Lisa Lord Advanced Practitioner, IEMT, practitioners to try and physically help. But there'll also be videos if you've got no access to that. And the other thing is, guys, that we're going to run a system called Pay It Forward. So you won't be paying for your therapy session, you'll be paying for somebody else's, and somebody else will already have paid for your sessions. Okay? So we're going to be, and this is the next portal, so stay tuned for that one. But if you're homeless, if you're massively in debt, if you just haven't got the money, then it's already paid for by someone. Your session's already paid for, and what we'll do is defer your Pay It Forward until you can afford it. Turn your life around, get that dream job, get yourself out of debt, but remember how it became about, and then come back and pay for somebody else's session, pay for somebody else to experience that, the benefit that you've got from it. That's how it's going to work. Yeah, sure, we could get everybody to pay for their own sessions and that would be it, but I don't see the power in that. There's so much more power in being somebody else's angel, reaching out and helping somebody else. Yeah, the second portal will be how you can help me, how you can, there'll be a Patreons. You can become a Patreon and support the YouTube channel, support me personally. I've been on benefits for the last 15 years and it destroys me. I started work at 13. I had a paper round at 13 and I worked my whole life. I had my own business which I lost, and it broke my heart to have to go, please sir, can I have some money? I'm ill, I have this tumor, I can't work, I can't walk, I can't do anything, I'm in pain all the time, please give me some money so that I can eat. How I felt so, my self-worth, and I can't believe how badly it affected my self-esteem. So support me to support others. That's one thing that you can do. Buy me a coffee is another one that you can do on YouTube as well. There will be a PayPal, so that you can actually pay for somebody's therapy. You know, these are 3 or 4 sessions at £50 a session. It's not a fortune. You know, we're not charging thousands of pounds to do this. I don't want to be a multi-millionaire inspirational speaker, you know, on stage charging people 26 grand to learn a wafty bollocks. Well, there you go. I told you I'd swear eventually, didn't I? I don't want that. What I want is to help people, and the more money I get, the more people I can help. That's the bottom line. Why do you need material things when you know you've got the sunshine, you've got nature, you've got people that love and care for you and are there to support you, you know, and all right, maybe you haven't got that at the moment. Maybe you haven't got somebody close to you that can support you and love you at the moment. But I want to support you. I want to be there. I can't do it physically, maybe, but I can reach out through this screen. You know, like, what's this old man, this scruffy old man doing, talking to me through my screen about love and care and support and spirituality and changing my life? Well, it's because I've been there. It's because I've spent, well, I'm 57 years old, so I've spent 57 years struggling through. You know, I've lost friends at the age of 20, 25, you know, car accidents, illness and stuff, and it's, I can't tell you. I can't tell you the pain and grief and guilt that comes with all of that. So please don't give up. Please, please, please don't you dare give up. Stay with me, please. Because it's so important. There's good things out there for you. There's good things waiting for you if you just give me the chance to guide you through the pain, to guide you through those hard times. One of the things, right, I want to talk about a guy called Marcus Luttrell, because Marcus was a massive driving force influence for me. Like, I'm crying now. Like, what have you done to me already? Wow. Marcus Luttrell was a special forces American soldier, and he was trapped in another country. He was being hunted by 200-300 of the enemy, the militia force, whatever you want to call them. He'd been shot multiple times, 9 times, 9 through and throughs through his quads and calves. And he'd been shot in his back, and he was throwing himself from the sides of mountains and down ravines, and you know, to try and escape and survive. There's a film, Lone Survivor. It's not this. What he said wasn't in the film, so I read the book. What he said wasn't in the book. It was only in a talk he gave, I think on YouTube. And his words just, they stopped me dead in my tracks, and I just listened, and I thought, oh my God. So he was laying at the bottom of a ravine, paralyzed from the chest down. He'd bitten his tongue off and swallowed it. He was bleeding from everywhere. His I can't even talk. His clothes were torn from his body, and he could have died. But what he did changed my life. His story changed my life. He said, I picked up a rock and I reached forward and drew a line in the sand. And I dragged myself inch by inch until my feet crossed that line. And then I reached forward, picked up a rock, drew a line in the sand, and dragged myself inch by inch until my feet crossed that line. And I did that for 9 miles. I think it was 9 miles, 6 miles. It makes no difference. It was miles across rough terrain. This wasn't a flat surface. This was over rocks and through you know. Oh. Anyway, after 9 miles of doing this, he came to a waterfall, and he said, that's a metaphor for life. He said, you know, you keep going, and eventually you come to a waterfall. And he tried to get a drink, and he fell down the bank, and he was unconscious. And when he woke up, there were villagers around him, and one particular villager took him in, cared for him, saved his life, hid him from the enemy forces until it was safe to do so. And you know, it's there in the book and in the talks and stuff. And he went through hell even after he'd been found, but he survived. And that villager was his angel, somebody else's angel. You know, that angel appeared and saved him after 9 miles of dragging inch by inch, drawing a line in the sand. And I thought, you know what? That's what I've got to do. I've got to draw a line in the sand. I've got to pick up a rock and draw a line in the sand and get through the next minute, get through the next 5 minutes, the next 10 minutes, the next hour, the next day. If only I can get to tomorrow, then tomorrow's going to be better. Tomorrow I'm going to be healed. Tomorrow, you know, and all right, you get to tomorrow and it's still the same. So you draw a line in the sand, you drag yourself across it, and you get to tomorrow. 20 years of tomorrows. 20 years of tomorrows. And finally, apart from the physical challenges that I have, the pain that I'm in most of the time, but apart from that, my life is, it's almost perfect. I have an almost perfect life after all the pain and struggling and suffering. So I've still got some challenges. I've still got some stuff to work on. You know, the doctors can't fix me. I have to fix me. I have to find a way through nutrition, exercise, helping other people. You know, I've got to find a way to deal with my personal physical challenges, and I will do that. And if I don't, well, you know, all right, I've done some good in the meantime. There's only so long you can go inwards and withdraw before it just takes you over, and you have to then make a decision, and that decision has to be made now. So going back to the portals, the 3 portals, I need help, I can help, and then I want to help. So the 3rd portal is about after you've received help, after you've got better, after you are a different person, after your life has changed, you can train with Lisa Lord, her method, or one of her trainers, we'll see. And you can become a therapist yourself. You can actually, I am a qualified IEMT therapist, and I want to help people. I will help people on a one-to-one basis. And you know, we just have an amazing team of therapists already. So there's 3 portals on the website, 3 ways that that you can become somebody else's angel. I totally understand that at the moment you may not feel that way. You may not feel as though you could never help anybody to, you know, to get through anything. But let's face it, you know, if you're struggling now and you overcome that, then you have the experience, you have that within you to then reach out, to then offer your hand out in support to somebody else and say, I can help you because I've been where you are. There's going to be so many videos, so many stories, so many interviews with other people that have changed their lives, turned their lives around from living a life of quiet desperation to blossoming. And I'm not talking about going out and earning millions and, oh yeah, I'm super successful, I've got 5 businesses. It's not about that, guys. Money is you can't put a price on the evolution of your soul. Yeah, it sounds, I know, yeah, I said I wasn't going to talk wafty bollocks, I'm sorry, but you can't. That's why we're here on earth. Imagine, right, you're up there floating about in whatever they want to call heaven, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know, right? You're floating around for eternity in total bliss, absolute total bliss. Nothing, there's no bad, there's no nothing, right? Pure love, right? Ooh, sooner or later you're going to get sick of that. after, let's say, after 1,000,000 years of floating around doing that, you're going to get sick of it. And that's what Earth is. Earth is about experiencing the myriad of emotions. How can you know what happiness is if you've never been sad? How can you know what pain is and you know, or joy is if you've never had pain? How you have to experience it all. The problem is, and this is the biggest, is lack of education, lack of knowledge of why. Why does this stuff happen? You know, why do we lose people? Why do terrible, terrible things happen? And all right, yeah, I know it's hard, but you've got to make some sense out of it, okay? So you can't experience joy and peace and love and compassion if you've never seen the other side. How are you going to know? You would never know what those things were. So here on earth, you're at school. You're here to learn. You're here to experience. You know, you either understand that and work with it, or you fight against it. And this is the problem. Most of us fight against it. We don't understand it. I'm not saying for 1 minute that you should skip through life going, oh, la, da, da, this is great, you know, and oh, okay, something bad's happened to me, but hey, you know, it's all part of the learning experience. We're not built that way. We're too sensitive. Human beings are too intelligent, too sensitive, too, you know, we take it all on. We watch the news and it affects us deeply. You know, things that we see make us sad, and they're not even related to our own little universe, but we still feel that sadness. We still feel that pain for other people that are suffering. We take it on, and sometimes we take on too much. You know, we just get overloaded, and we need to find ways to work through that. Exercise is, you know, massive and I know nobody likes exercise. Like, cut, he's talking about exercise. No guys, no, I'm sorry, you know, but it's important. We need that physical outlet. We need to burn off some of the stress hormones and things that, so please don't give up. Don't give up. Help me, support me. You can make a massive difference to people all over the world. You really can. There's going to be so much support, so many tools and resources. I never had the tools and resources to deal with any of this stuff. It's been a really long learning curve, and I've talked for way too long. This is half an hour. I can see on the thing, half an hour, and it was only going to be a 10-minute video. So guys, go to YouTube. You're already here probably. Maybe you're seeing this on the website. I don't know. Subscribe, like, share, become a patron if you can. Support me, you know, any way you can to help people that are desperate, to help people, you know, maybe like you or maybe like someone you know. One of the hardest things for me was not being able to help my brother. I didn't know how to help him, but now I do. It's too late for him, but it's not too late for you. So please stay with it. Get through the next day, get through the next week, get through the next month. Read, watch, not just me. There's other people out there, but stick with me because I want to help. Do not give up, please.